So we're almost live. For those of you joining in, let us know what your favorite way to recharge in the chat is. Like, how do you recover from times when you feel tired, almost about to burn out? What do you do to gain energy again? And also feel free to let us know what role do you play in tech? And welcome everybody. We are live on YouTube as well, so we'll also be monitoring the comments there. This event will be recorded, and it's going to be on our YouTube, Design Buddies. I'm going to quickly share my slide in case y'all are new to Design Buddies, but welcome. We're super excited to be here with our buddies at General Assembly to bring you and talk about how to prevent burnout and how to deal with burnout. And so if y'all are new to Design Buddies, I'm Grace. I founded Design Buddies full-time. I'm a product designer in the gaming industry. But Design Buddies is basically a really large community where all designers from all backgrounds or anyone in tech is welcome to connect, support each other, and learn more about design. And we have a ton of events, resources, fun design challenges and stuff for all of y'all. And I'm here with our friendly moderator, Eric, from our events team. And Eric will be helping drop links and helping moderate the chat as well. So thank you, Eric, for joining us. And for some quick house rules, events are recorded for accessibility reasons, and by attending, you grant consent. However, if you don't want to be in the recording in any form, you can watch on our YouTube channel at design.buddies. Feel free to engage via chat. We are really open, and in case our speaker says something that y'all resonate with, feel free to comment, feel free to connect with each other as well. Eric will also be dropping a networking sheet where y'all can connect with each other from this event, as well as send each other a personalized note on LinkedIn saying y'all met at this event. We want to encourage buddies to connect and help each other level their career. We will not have a Slido this time. And then we also take a group selfie at the end as well. So Eric will also, there's also some Zoom backgrounds y'all can use for the group selfie in case y'all want to. And we also welcome anyone to share any takeaways on social media, tag Design Buddies. We always like to reshare, retweet. We post them on our Instagram stories. And yeah, just connect with each other, hop into our Discord if you want. And just have fun, be respectful, and yeah, we're just here for a very wholesome time. And with that, I'll hand it on to Gabriella.
Thank you so much, Grace, and hello, welcome everyone. Let me just briefly share my screen. So yes, we're joining a session by Design Buddies and GA about from burnout to career boom. I hope you can all hear me well. My name is Gabriela. I'm leading GA expansion in the US. And before we will start, I would just love to ask you, do you know GA or not? Please let me know in Zoom chat. Are you familiar with us? Simple yes or no. Yes. Okay. Hi, Shanesi. Oh my God, so many yes. I love it. So hello, everyone from GA family. I will just briefly mention who we are and what we do for people who don't know us. I see one no. So we are a technology education company. We started 10 years ago in New York, and we are focusing on bringing people into technology and digital careers. What are the skills that we are teaching? So we are teaching adults skills as coding, user experience design, visual design, data analytics, data science, marketing, business, and career development. And how we do it? We have real in-person campuses in some cities as New York, Sydney, London, Paris, LA, San Francisco. But from all other locations, you can join us virtually via Zoom. So we have all our programs available also in virtual form. Our main programs are for people who want to fully change careers. So for instance, if you want to become user experience designer, you can talk to our admission. Then you can have 3 months long bootcamp where you have also assigned career coach and you work on tons of projects, build your portfolio, sorry. And after that, we will help you to find a job in the new area after graduation. We have this, as I mentioned, about user experience design, but also about software engineering and data science. On top of this, we have part-time programs for upskilling, 10 weeks, part-time in the evening or on Saturday. And after that, you will get a certificate. You can join it about various coding languages, visual design, user experience design, and more. And on top of all that, we do tons of short workshops and webinars, just like this one. Here are a couple of our free resources. I will drop the link in Zoom chat after this intro. And we are always here to help you. I will add this link too. So ga.co/education. And now I will handle it back to Grace.
Yeah, thanks so much. We're excited to be collaborating with you on this effort. And we'll pass it on to Liana for her presentation now.
Actually, I would love to add one more thing. So when I was talking about workshops, we have tons of workshops. The link is in the form that I will share in Zoom chat. And also you can go just to ga.co/education. And today you can fill out the form. It's the last link in the message I just sent. And if you pick a workshop by GA from this website, you can copy the title, the link, submit your name. And practically, we will pick 5 winners tomorrow that will win $50 voucher that they can apply for any GA workshop. So practically go to this website that is linked in the form, pick a workshop, fill out the form, and tomorrow at noon Pacific time, we will pick 5 winners and we will contact them via Discord of Design Buddies and also via email. So just awesome. Like very important quick note.
Yeah. And these people will be randomly selected. So we'll use a random number generator. So definitely take your time, look through whatever workshops you want, and we'll post the winners on Discord. But for all the winners, you'll get contacted via the email you've also submitted as well.
All right, so I'm going to start, guys. Well, hello, everyone. Before I start sharing the PowerPoint, here's my face. And I'm very glad to see you. And now let's start the screen share. You got a little preview. All right, well, happy to be here. Burnout is a big topic. It's a very, very timely issue that a lot of us have been most likely going through. And I'm happy to be here to share what I know about it from my personal experience, from my clients' experience, from neuroscience. And hopefully this will be a time for us to connect, to brainstorm. We will also have a breakout session later on. So be prepared to listen attentively, try to not multitask, try to be focused on what's here, because I'm going to offer you some strategies how you can think differently. First, let me introduce myself and explain why I think I can offer value to you guys. I'm an executive coach and I'm founder of Connected MBA, which stands for Mastery of Being Aware. I have about 20 years of experience in business, in corporations, startups. I also started my own company in Silicon Valley. So you can imagine that the hustle culture is very burnout friendly. So I certainly have some personal experience with that. I got educated at the INSEAD Business School in France and Singapore, and also Harvard. And I've lived in about 10 different countries, which sometimes can also be stressful, but also fun. So why am I here today? Well, beyond the fact that Gabriela kindly invited me, thank you for that. I work with clients in senior roles who regularly face burnout, and they have to learn tools how to navigate it. I also have personal experience dealing with it, work related, and also even just life related. So right now I am renovating my house, which can also be quite stressful. And, you know, in general, I'm just another human, just like all of us, trying to stay sane at the times of pandemic, which are unprecedented. So let's dive in. What is burnout? Contrary to what people usually think it is, which is physical exhaustion, it's actually a blend of mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion. So it's basically when our battery is completely depleted. And in our, the pace of life is just so crazy these days. And we have one responsibility, another responsibility, to-do list. It just gets very blended in like a constant flow of things we have to do, we must do, we should do. We're kind of, we're not robots, but we have so many things that we think that we can manage it all. And there are a lot of reasons why we think we need to compete with other people, we need to succeed at work. With this new culture, there are so many Zoom meetings, people are having difficulty combining family life, kids at home, and career. And we are biological beings, and we have feelings, and we have values. And sometimes when we're doing something that doesn't agree with our values, that creates the psychological feeling of burnout. So in order for us to solve for it, I'd like to think about the causes. And in the presentation description, I shared that I will share some of the unexpected causes that you probably won't see anywhere else. That's my own classification that I came up with. So cause number one is disconnect. Well, so we're constantly connected on our phone and social media, but we're not connected to other things which are, I would argue, more important in life. So first thing is purpose. What is the why? Why are we doing something? So let's say we have a stressful situation at work, and we're so stuck in the rut of it in the day-to-day, in the to-do list, so we forget, why did we even start this career in the first place? Or why are we here? Another thing is connection and community. We're biological creatures who are wired to connect with others. When we are born to another human, so we're dependent on them. And when we don't have the connection, then our hormones are not firing in the right way, and that doesn't feel good. So when we're connected to humans, then there's a bunch of great happiness hormones like oxytocin that are produced in the body, and we feel good. So for example, like this community that we're here, so design buddies, I'm sure a lot of you are joining so that you can enjoy interaction with like-minded people. So it's not just for information, it's because you know that it's important to have this physical connection, and maybe even if it's done through Zoom and online, it's still connection to others that generates the same kind of hormone in our body. Another thing is, are we really connected to our body? I would argue most of the time, not so much. We stay in our head, so we're kind of like humans with a giant head and little body. So we forget that all of it is really vitally important. Emotions is something we usually neglect. So when we feel like we're burnt out, all we can say is usually, oh, I'm just exhausted. But we don't know what's happening, what's the emotion driving it, and what's the thought behind it, because we're not intentionally usually thinking about what is the thought that's going in the back of my mind. Usually a lot of the processes are subconscious. Well, so that's cause number two. So we're always on, right? So we're always busy. There's social media, there's an email to respond, there's multitasking. I'm actually curious, how many screens are you guys, do you have open now? I know for my case, it's at least 10 at a time, and I think multitasking works, but in fact, it can be pretty stressful. And then there is fear of missing out, and that creates also stuckness because we're always kind of trying to catch that next big thing, an important thing. And another thing which might be surprising for you, every day we think something between 60 to 100,000 thoughts. And what's interesting about them is a lot of them repeat. What's even more interesting, so day after day, year after year, so we're recycling old thoughts, and many of them are not positive. They're not great thoughts. So if we were to put them out on the loudspeaker, you probably would not be proud of how many negative thoughts and worries you have. And then confusion creates also too many choices and a feeling of stuckness because we cannot take action because there are just too many choices. The next one is fragility. And this is not to point fingers at anyone. So this happens to all of us. This happens to me. This happens to my senior level clients. A lot of times we think things are happening to me and we think, oh, poor me, or they did that to me. Instead of taking the leadership stand, okay, what is the situation? How can I change it? What kind of impact can I create? Another thing is people pleasing. So the word burnout was actually coined by a psychologist, I believe, called Freudenberger, which means mountains of joy, if you were to translate the last name. So he found that people who worked in the psychiatric hospital were getting burnt out, and they were getting resentful to their clients because they were so focused on helping others, but they were not putting their own mask first. And that resulted in them eventually providing not so good service to clients. So the question here is, where can you say no to something if something doesn't feel right? And then the comparison is when we're thinking that someone else is more successful or thinner or smarter or whatever, or thicker or whatever, then it creates this negative self-talk in our head, and it also generates this fragility and, again, poor me kind of thinking. So what kind of results do we get when we follow those strategies? And again, those strategies are not happening on purpose to us. This is just something we're so used to because the society teaches us this is kind of how you live. You need to compare yourself to others. You need to be deserving of that. You need to get that prestigious education. You need to buy that expensive car. You need to succeed in that career. Being a lawyer or a doctor is more prestigious, for example, than being a designer or an engineer. Maybe now it's vice versa. So it's the narrative. So the result is also, when we don't feel congruent, when we don't feel congruent to our values, when our emotions are off, the results are kind of not so great. We drop into inaction, procrastination, and feel overwhelmed. So here's a little early Halloween reference for you. So we saw that some strategies, those 3 causes, didn't work so well for the results of if we're talking about success in the career and in general peace of mind. So rule of thumb, if one strategy doesn't work, choose a different one and you will get a different result. My question to you is, do you choose to be a victim or do you choose to be victorious? And do you choose to be the CEO of your life or not? And I hope that since you're here and you're spending this hour of your life on learning something, you will take some strategies which will propel you to be the CEO of your life, not just your business, not your small business or being an employee for someone. So this is an easy framework that we will practice in the breakout rooms. For in sleep, I almost called them burnout rooms. And first, it starts with awareness. So we understand, okay, this is the situation, and we can actually describe it. Then we connect the dots and we create some strategies. Step 3, action. Very important. Without action, no change is possible. I know you guys have shared some wonderful strategies how you recharge. I'm going to share 7 winning strategies that work for me. And then we'll combine some ideas and we'll, at the end of our time together, we'll have a nice cheat sheet that all of you can have and refer to when you feel exhausted, burnt out, depleted. So strategy number 1 is get in the body. Well, the most obvious thing is breathe. And here I would like to challenge you, to practice this together. So let's do some belly breathing. Are you guys okay with that? So what we're going to do is we're going to put one hand on the heart, one hand on your belly, and just try to breathe with your belly. Let's do 4 rounds. One. Take long, deep breaths with your belly. Okay. So who is feeling a little bit more relaxed just from this 1 minute? Okay, I see some hands. Great. So this is an easy hack. And I know meditation is very popular, but frankly, sometimes it gets hard because our minds are so busy. So just dropping into a place where you don't think can be harder. So this is something you can always access, and you point your attention to your breathing, to your body, and you relax. And there's a lot of physiology that's happening there. There's vagus nerve that helps to promote the relaxation, parasympathetic nervous system, which we need to be able to rest and relax. Another exercise I'm going to challenge you to do is balance. So we see in this picture, there's a balancing exercise. We're not going to do that, but we're going to do something similar. So humor me. So what we're going to do is, if you can stand up, if you don't mind. And now just try to lean forward as far as you can. So you almost fall. And if you fall, it's a bonus point. So let's try again. Okay, so forward. Let's try to do it backwards and sideways. Okay, now trick question. Who felt worried or who was wondering about the to-do list or anything like that while you were doing this? Any hands up? Probably not. So again, this is a little life hack that just helps you to understand, okay, I can actually have balance. And burnout, we're trying to find work-life balance, which is a very elusive thing. And maybe in the long term, it's really hard to accomplish. But even standing up for a minute and trying to find balance in your own body, you understand that you have the agency. You have your own leadership. You have your own body that you can, sort of control or be in charge of. So there you go. And what's beautiful about these things is you can do them throughout the day. You don't need to go take an hour to do a yoga class. You can just do these things for just a minute. Or when you feel like you're very overwhelmed, just do some squats, jumping jacks, and just get back in your body and away from the amygdala. So this is the emotional part of our brain, amygdala, that creates a lot of havoc because it likes to create the drama scenarios. Winning strategy number 2, connect with someone. We're going to do that in the breakout rooms later. Like I mentioned before, it's great for our hormonal structure, just to be able to connect with another human with no responsibility behind you, just to connect. And sometimes it's good to vent. And I don't think many of us do that. I know women have it easier. We sometimes call a friend and we just kind of complain about something and then we feel better. Men usually want to find a solution to this issue, and I'm generalizing, but anyway, and then if you help someone, if you just give some, literally just help someone in a little way, in the smallest way, you actually feel good. That's the hack. Because again, it produces those happiness hormones. Winning strategy number 3, connect to nature. Again, for this, it would be great if you can go to the forest and see beautiful nature, but you also can simply look at the pictures of nature. So as you're seeing this beautiful image, you probably feel already more at peace. You can also play the sounds of nature or have a plant in your office. And even that little connection just reminds us that we're humans, we're not robots, we're alive, we're in charge. Winning strategy number 4. So how can you take care of yourself before you help someone else? How can you put on your oxygen mask on first? How can you fill up your own cup? Because when you have your batteries depleted, you can actually be very productive or helpful for other people. All right, so this is a more advanced level. Winning strategy number 5, emotions. So here's a little challenge for you guys. Who can list 7 emotions that you know? If you're interested, whoever lists 7 emotions, not looking at the Google, I'm happy to have a complimentary half-an-hour session with you for whatever goals you have. So the truth of the matter is we're completely illiterate when it comes to emotions. And there are some emotions that are socially unacceptable, so to say. So we when we're sad, we try to not show that we're sad. When we're angry, oh my God, we cannot say we're angry. But in fact, just knowing what emotion is, what emotion you're feeling now, helps to process it. Oh wow, I see a lot of very advanced people. So I think Andres, is it Andres? I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. So I think you're the winner. You're the first person who did it. So they listed anger, disgust, fear, sadness, surprise, joy, happiness, apathy. Great. So there are a lot of great names. So when we become emotionally literate, we can actually handle them better. As we remember, burnout is a big part of it is about emotion. All right. So when we find emotion, we name it. So we put a little sticker. Sometimes you can even, put a post-it and just write, okay, I'm feeling angry. And then you try to tune in your body. Now that you're so much better in tuning into your body, we already did some balancing exercises, and find where in the body can you find this emotion? Because usually emotions are stuck in the body. They're chemical, they're cocktail of chemicals you can think with. And then once you feel it, then allow yourself to just stay with it. If it's an unpleasant emotion, it's really hard to stay with it, I know. And we want to, go for like get a chocolate bar or like a happy hour drink or something like that. So instead, just try to stay with it. All right, guys, good work. Another strategy is try deconstructing the problem. So let's say something feels overwhelming. I hate my job. Okay, great. So try to deconstruct what about it do you absolutely hate? Is it all of it or is it a specific part? Journal about it. Just journaling about something helps to let it out of your chest so you can be free. And plus it's anonymous, so no one will know, so feel free. And then also you get clarity, and clarity is great. And when you think about it, when you deconstruct it, and I know there are a lot of people who are engineers here, so when you understand the separate parts of it, then it's much less overwhelming. And then you can apply the framework that I provided. Do you feel disconnected? Is it the stuckness? Is it the fragility? And then this is how you can gain control over it. Instead of this annoying situation, gaining full control over you, over your brain, this amygdala thing in the back of our head that is really firing off because it feels there's a big problem. And the thing is about our emotional brain. So we have this amygdala, it's called emotional brain. It catastrophizes. It thinks if something is, let's say you're buying the wrong toothpaste, it's a big deal. It's similar to amygdala is preparing to fight a tiger. And it sounds ridiculous, but this is how our brain works. So, and because our brain is constantly activated, it's really hard to bring it back to, okay, it's just a toothpaste. It's not a tiger. All right, this is another advanced strategy. Changing thinking. The life hack here is our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions drive our actions, and our actions create those results. So when you try to change how you think, you have a chance to change the emotion. The trick is, of course, to find that thought. And here what helps me also is, why am I doing this? Do I really have no choice? Or is there a situation, is there something I can do about it? Is it really that bad? Can I see a silver lining? And do I like this thought that I'm thinking? And then you can change it. And I know it sounds strange. How can we change our thinking? But it's actually possible. We just practice thinking new thoughts. We can again create a post-it and write the new thought that we like better. This situation is actually pretty good, or this is a growth opportunity. And then we put that sticker, and then we remember, oh, okay, maybe there is an opportunity. Or you can ask your brain a question, why is it an opportunity? And our brains are built this way. They're kind of like computers. So they like to find answers. If you ask the brain, why is this situation so bad? You will get answers. If you ask your brain, why is the situation a growth opportunity for me? You will get answers too. And the bonus strategy, my favorite, is putting together a collection of photos of things you love and things that remind you of good times, of the fact that life is beautiful, that you're still human, that there are things that recharge your battery when you're depleted. And I remember once I was reading a book by Oprah, actually I have it here, and there was something, she mentioned there were 15, this is the book, there were 15 things she loves about life and she's very grateful for. And I was reading it, and she says, oh, I love to go plant my vegetables. And then I love to cook. I love to eat my vegetables. I like to walk my dog. So there were very simple things. And I was thinking, wow, such as a successful businesswoman, and these are the things she really appreciates. So I'm sure all of us can find little things like that that make our life really beautiful and rewarding. All right, guys, do you have any questions so far? Pictures of baby animals, yes. Love the happiness board idea, great. Okay, so we're going to get to the interactive part. So, oh, actually, before we go there, I have another good news for you. So I know it sounds strange, but we can actually use burnout to our advantage, because when we feel burnt out, if we analyze it and see, so what's really going on? Maybe it's an opportunity to change. Maybe we change the situation. Maybe we change our thinking. Maybe we need to recharge our batteries. Maybe we need to look at the baby animals pictures. But ultimately, something is off, and maybe that's a growth opportunity. Maybe this job is not the right one for me, or maybe I need better leadership skills that will take me to the next level. Do you guys agree that you can use burnout to your advantage? So if you ask your brain now, let's play, how can I use burnout to my advantage? What answers come to you? That's a hard one, but I know you can do it. In every disaster, there is an opportunity. Burnout helps me to find out what I don't want to do in life. Okay. Yeah, to get out of situation you're unhappy with. Yeah, I need a change. And change is scary, right? But sometimes it can be good. Do things differently. Good step. All right, and now we have a little bit of a demo. Not a victim, be victorious. Burnout helps me to rethink ways to be positive and find a silver lining. Beautiful. Try new stuff. Great. Take a step back. All right, guys. Beautiful. So we're going to do a little bit of a demo now. Eric kindly agreed to be my demo. And this is what you're going to do in the breakout rooms. But just to make it easier for you, we'll do a demo first, and then we will send you to the breakout rooms. So this is the link. I tried to make it easy. So it's bit.ly breakout burnout. And now I would like to invite Eric to join me. I think I have to get out of the screen share, right? Or, can you guys see Eric? Or do I need to
let me pin you really quick. Yeah, if you could stop screen sharing, that'd be great, because it appears in. Is this okay to be recorded, by the way, or would you rather have it not?
Should be fine.
This way. Okay, cool. Just to make sure. Yeah, cool. Y'all are pinned, so people can see.
Okay. As well. Okay, so let's do it. Eric, so thank you for volunteering. So tell me about the situation of burnout in 1 or 2 minutes that you are experiencing now, have experienced before, and let's see if we can get some coaching.
Right. Last year I joined my friend's startup, and I was just thrown into the mess. I didn't know anything. And just recently, when it was closer to the launch date, we had deadlines after deadlines after deadlines that I kept like really focused on meeting. After that, I just had a period of silence. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't focus. I don't know. I had to tell people to tell me things to do rather than me doing it them myself. Right, that was the situation.
Okay, thank you. So as you were listening to the presentation, did you notice anything? What kind of pattern was it? Was it about being disconnected? Was it about being stuck? Or was it about being fragile?
I think it was mostly stuck, because my brain didn't work. Every time when I sit down every morning, it's online remote as well. I was not able, there was very lack of communication between my team and I as well, like physically. So I felt very disconnected and stuck in my own area.
And when you say stuck, so where were you stuck?
In my room, and mentally and physically, all in my room.
Okay, so which part of it would you like to look at? In your room, mentally, or physically?
We could do physically, because I think I had my recovery was actually outside of my room after.
Okay. So what was the problem with being stuck in the room?
I felt like I was confined in a space, and almost felt like I was limiting my thoughts and ideas and just thinking in general.
Okay. And why was it the problem that you were confined in a space?
I feel like my perspective with things was very limited.
And did you have any access to nature?
Not really. Might be my window that's behind my computer that every morning I turned on. Maybe I see a little bit outside, but then it's back to work.
Okay. And as you were listening to the talk so far, one of the strategies I offered was connecting to nature. Would this be something you're looking back would be something interesting to you?
Yes, definitely, for sure. Because I did take like a break, a vacation, and went out to nature after I took a week break. Went to a cabin in the forest. I kind of did like a lot of water activities, so connected with nature quite peacefully there.
And when did you find out that connecting with nature was so important to you?
I was in a lake or a river, and I was just sitting I was canoeing, and I was canoeing with my friend. It was just silence, and then just beautiful nature, amazing scenery going on. It was a beautiful day, and I was just sitting and refreshing on thinking of my thoughts, and everything seemed very clear for some reason.
Okay, so you got clarity from being in nature. So from the perspective that I'm hearing, what you're saying is you were able to relax, to get into your sympathetic nervous system. You were able to tune into the sounds or the nature around you, not just the sounds. And I'm curious, since this is just a tiny demo and we only have a couple of minutes, so what strategies did you use already, and what strategies you think you could have used now that you know more, you have more tools?
Go out more often. Connect with people. I feel like there was a huge disconnection because we were like stuck inside for so long.
Yeah.
Go out, look for more. Nature is obviously a thing. I would if right now it's like fall, otherwise I would have gone canoeing, kayaking more often. Otherwise, like just talk and connect with people, like talk to your Uber driver, talk to that barista or whoever. I feel like talking and getting their perspective on how they face similar situations in their own way really helps, gives you a perspective of things.
It's very interesting. What I'm noticing is you described the work-related situation, the startup, and then at the end of the day, we go back to the basics of being human and needing to connect to the barista and Uber driver and canoeing. Isn't it interesting? I mean, we think we're not biological creatures, but we are, and we cannot get away from it. So I think we forget about it as we're having our full days full of Zoom meetings and responsibilities and to-dos and benchmark and milestones and all of that. We forget that, okay, we have some biological rhythms, and just simple things would actually help us to be able to manage all of it. And I think what's interesting is, and thank you so much for sharing, I really appreciate it. Usually we go run, and then we get to a point when we're really tired, exhausted, and then we go and take vacation. But what I'm offering you guys is you can take a tiny break that is 1 minute long and just get back to it. Even if you feel depleted, even if you have no access to nature whatsoever, put a little plant on your table or look at the baby animal, and then you can just snap back into it. Like stress is actually good in small doses, but you need to come back to it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric. So this was what we're going to do in the breakout rooms. Is this more or less clear? So I'll send the link to you guys and I'll explain. So every group, we have 3 people in the group. Okay. So first, elect a timekeeper. So someone with an iPhone or whatever way to keep track time. So 1 minute, you have a first speaker who describes the situation very briefly. We don't need to go into details, just very, very basic. You can even say, I just, got so depleted or whatever. And then second task, it's 3 minutes, I think. And you go into insights. Oh, this was what was going on. And then you can ask yourself questions. So, okay, so what if I was stuck there? Why is it a problem? And then you answer them. And then the third part is you're offering strategies that you think will work. And your teammates, if you're okay with that, will also offer strategies that they think will work or maybe have worked for them. Is it more or less clear? So we're not, first of all, it's not going to be recorded. It's just for you. It's just for you to practice and have this sense of community even closer, and share your deepest secrets with complete strangers. It usually works really well. And just for you to kind of, be heard and also find some solutions. But obviously we're not teaching each other. We're equals here. There's nothing like that. And most important, have fun with this exercise, and then we'll come back and we'll share insights. How's that? Okay.
Yeah, before you go, let's do a quick group photo together if you want to turn on your camera as well. I won't record this part, and don't worry, you'll hear the friendly Zoom tell you that the recording has stopped, so just brace yourself, it's pretty loud. There we go. Okay. Thank you, friendly Zoom voice. I'm going to unpin y'all temporarily so we can do, let me stop live streaming on YouTube as well. We can do our group photo. To gallery. Cool. I'm gonna give everyone a couple seconds to turn on their camera if you want. I see some buddies with our design buddies background. So I'm gonna count down 5 seconds. Yeah, no worries at all if you don't have a camera. If you want, you can also react on Zoom. You can do like a heart, a wave, and it'll also appear in our group photo as well. So that's another way to participate if you want to. And feel free to bring any object you want as well. I have Fluffle with me, my friendly buddy mascot. So I'll be holding that with me. And I'll count down 5 seconds, take a couple of group photos, and pick the one where everyone looks the best in. You know how it's like, right? So, ready? All right, 5, 4, 3, feel free to react too. 2, 1, say Fluffle. Oh my God, I love the clapping, it's smiling. All right, cool. Let's do our breakout room. And really